What's up guys, welcome back over to the channel. Today we've got another mod for the Gladiator, and I apologize about all that background noise. I can't always help it. We are here in an underground parking, but besides the point, I've got the best mod so far for anybody that owns a Wrangler, a JL, or a Gladiator JT. And this is basically going to give you the full capabilities and unlock all the full potential of the vehicle and give you full control over pretty much all the systems and all the different features of the vehicle. And what I mean by that is you'll be able to force your lockers at any time in rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, four low, four high. You can do your sway bar disconnect at any time. You can kill your traction control completely with your ESC, ABS, and your traction off anytime. You can upgrade your lighting. So if you have any of your lighting that isn't LED, you can upgrade them to LEDs and have them actually work properly. You can upgrade your head unit. You can upgrade, if you have a Gladiator and you don't have the bed plug, you can activate the bed plug. You can change your tire size so that your speedometer actually displays your correct speed. You can change your transfer case ratio if you decide to get yourself an upgraded transfer case. You can activate the Rubicon transfer case because it has a few different systems in there that you need to activate. Tons of different stuff. You actually get to incorporate in the mobilizer, so you get to throw in a code on your steering wheel if you so choose every single time you start the vehicle, or if you happen to get out of the vehicle with the key in your pocket. Sorry about that. Or if you happen to get out of the vehicle with the key in your pocket and you decide that you just, whatever, you need to get back in and you need to drive and the vehicle's still started, then you need to put another code in. So if you decide that you get out and somebody else gets in, then they need to put the code in. They won't be able to drive away. You can also do cool things like winch mode, so it automatically sets an RPM for you and holds that RPM. So you can be out of the vehicle and you don't have to be revving it up so that it actually holds that RPM for you. You can do an anchor mode, so it holds all four tires locked and you can get out of the vehicle and don't have to worry that it's sitting on the parking brake or on your transmission parking brake, like on the actual parking gear. You can also do all kinds of other things. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of stuff, but we'll go through all of it in a moment. But the thing I'm talking about today, as most of you probably already know by now, is the Z Automotive Taser Mini JL. So I have the Taser Mini. They do also make a Taser Lite. The Taser Lite is the same thing, it just has a few less features. I'm gonna be focusing basically on the features of the full Taser Mini. This is the one that has all the features because that's the one that I have. And this has been something I've been playing around with for the past few days. And let me tell you, I actually love it. And I've learned to use it and all the different things that it can do. And it's awesome. So let me show you guys quickly what you guys have to do upstairs on the computer before you can throw it into the computer, before you can throw it into your Jeep. And then we'll come downstairs, I'll show you how quickly it is to install, and we'll go through the process of setting all the different settings and how to use this guy, because this thing will allow you to do so much on-road and off-road that you will be surprised how you lived without it. And a quick side note, this is not a sponsored video. I did not get paid or given this. I was given this actually as a present for my birthday, but we went out and we spent money on this. This was not given to us. This is not a sponsored video. This is just a video to inform you guys of the different things you can do with this and how to use it, because honestly, after using it for a few days, this thing is awesome. So in the box, you're gonna get just the actual Taser JL Mini, and you're gonna have to go over to the website and get yourself a copy of the latest instructions. So once you get yourself the instructions and you open those up, first thing you're gonna have to do is update the actual Taser itself. So you're gonna have to download a program, which I've already got over here. Actually, in the box, there is going to be as well a cable for the Taser. So you plug in the Taser, which I am doing right now. There we go. So once you have everything plugged in, you can go to update. Once you click update, it'll check for an update. It'll tell you your current firmware as well as the newest firmware. If there is a newer firmware than what you have on your Taser, then you can go ahead and upload it. And as you can see, there is a new firmware. So what we can do is install. So now we're gonna wait. It'll go through the install process. once everything is done here, we can actually go back and we can configure a couple of things. So I'm gonna let this run, and when this is finished running, then I'll come back to you guys. Okay, so I got it to update even though I was actually at the right firmware. So if you look up here, it tells you your firmware version. I was looking here where it says your previous version. For whatever reason, it tells you the previous version. Once you're done updating, you can actually close this off and go to configure. Once you click configure, here you can actually play with all your different light shows. So you'll be able to do, I think, up to 3 custom light shows, as you can see here. And you can turn on and off the 6 preset light shows. And I'm not going to go through all of that now because that's pretty much stuff that you can play with yourself and set up how you want. I will show you a few of the preset light shows that come on it because I haven't played with it myself to set any up, because to be honest with you, the ones that come on it are good enough for me. I don't really use this as a parade vehicle, so I don't really need too many light shows. But it is cool that you do get full customization and full control over all the lights on the vehicle, and you can make them all flash, strobe, do whatever you want. If you are an emergency vehicle, or if you do work construction, or for whatever reason you want to make the vehicle just flash its lights, you can do that. So that is what you can do here in the configurator. And you can also do a data log. So you can basically data log the performance of the vehicle. I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole nother ball game, which I'm not really going to dive into today. But once you have it updated, it's ready to install. So let's close everything off and we can go install. We'll put this away and we'll grab this little guy. Now we'll go install this in the car. And basically in the box, that's all you have. So what I do is I pull up the instructions on my phone just so I can reference back to them, because they do give you a lot of interesting little shortcuts and little things you can do. But let's go over it and let's show you guys the features in the actual vehicle. And one other thing that I do have to install on the Gladiator soon is this dash cam. It is a 2-channel dash cam, so we'll be able to put one in the front and in the back. So if you guys want to see the install on this, let me know in the comments, because I think this is definitely useful for everybody. And this is one of the ones that you can actually use as a motion sensor camera. So if anybody tries to do anything, or if your vehicle gets hit while it's parked, this will capture it. So the install is relatively painless once you actually get under your dash, right over here. So on the driver's side, right here, it's a little hard to see on the camera, but you follow this guy, and then right there, there's 2 plugs. Right where my index finger is, there's 2 little plugs, and those plugs are these. And those are the 2 guys you unplug and plug in to your taser. So simply, there's only one way they go, 1 and 2, and you'll see the light flashing, which indicates that something is happening, it's reading. So you just tuck this away after in a safe space where nothing is really going to happen to it. If you really want to, you can zip tie it out of the way. I haven't zip tied it for the past little while that I've been using it. It hasn't really made a noise or been an issue, but if I do find that it starts to rattle, I can quickly and easily grab a zip tie. But right there, I think she's okay. Now what you want to do is, without putting your feet on the pedals, you want to click the run button twice and get it into run. It's not accessory, but into run. So once you get it into run, what you want to do is you want to scroll all the way to your music or your radio. Once you have it at the radio, you're going to hold down left and you're going to hold down cancel at the same time. So if I do that, it takes you into the menu, and the first option is light show. Let me see if I can position you guys in a certain way. Okay, so if you keep pressing the button, you go through them all the way to marry. Mine says unmarry because it's already been married to this vehicle. What that just means is that you're going to pair it to this vehicle, and it's going to be giving you the full options and full capability of all the different things you can do. So once it's married, it gives you all the different options and all the different actual things you can change. Sorry about that, guys. There, that should be a little bit better. So once you're scrolling through your actual options, you're at the radio, you press left and cancel. You're always holding left to access this menu. Once you go through and you actually marry it, you can go and check all the different parameters you can change. So the first thing that you would do is you would go through, check your light shows. You can do all the different light shows, which we'll go through at the end. You can read your DTCs, so any kind of check engine light or anything that comes up, you can check. You can clear them. You can also marry or unmarry. You can do your performance. So once you go into this, you can change your tire size. You can change your gear ratio in your transfer case, or sorry, in your axle if you re-gear. You can change your ratio in your transfer case if you upgrade your transfer case. And you can also change parameters in the TPMS, which would be things like, do you have sensors? What PSI do you want it to actually read? So when you first get your Jeep, it reads at 37 PSI. If you don't go to that 37 PSI, it always gives you a low tire warning. So you can set it to whatever you want it at. I set mine to 32. So you can set front and rear separate. You can also set radio. So if you go into radio, there is more things such as camera. You can do cargo lighting, cargo camera, DVD, CD, travel link, off-road pages, all the things that you would be able to activate if you upgraded your Uconnect. You can also go into off-road, which gives you sway kill, which basically lets you use your sway bar at any point in two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or for low, for high, whatever you want. You can do your steering, so that's electronic power steering. So that's if you have your hydraulic power, if you have hydraulic or if you have electronic. You can do trailer brake, lockers, front and rear. That's if you have your front axle disconnect or not. If you upgrade your axle, you can eliminate the front axle disconnect. And DTCM, I believe, is related to the transfer case, if you have a Rubicon transfer case. And there is even more parameters. If you go auxiliary buttons, you can activate the auxiliary buttons, blind spot monitors, so on and so forth. The ding, parking sensors, the splash screen, so when you turn on the actual vehicle, dual zone climate or single zone climate, home link. You can set your paddles if you have paddle shifters, your mirror dimmer, proximity entry if you have proximity entry, your 115 volt bed outlet. So all the different stuff that you can basically use or add as an additional option. If you purchase those things separate, you can still add them and activate them. Panic button, that's on your actual key fob if you want the panic button to do anything. And I can't remember what this one is. And that's the end of those options. Once you change any options, you want to give it a full reboot, and you actually want to do 2 full reboots. The way to do that is to click full reboot, let it go through the sequence, open your door, close your door, wait for the actual cluster to turn off, turn this back to run, click reboot again, and do that twice, and then you should have all your settings saved. Read the instructions if you do pick up the actual taser, and you'll see inside the instructions what the procedure is exactly to do that. But now let's actually start the vehicle, and I'll show you the different options you get once the vehicle is running, because there's a whole set of different options once it's on. So now it's asking me for my PIN because I have the immobilizer PIN set, so I'm gonna actually enter my PIN. And you can see PIN unlocked. And once you enter your code, which I have set up, you can go back into your regular settings pages. So once again, if you're holding left and you scroll through, you'll have live settings, tire fill. If you go into tire fill, basically what happens is you can choose what PSI you want it full to. So say you want it to 30 PSI, say you want it 31, 32, 33, and as each tire fills to that PSI, you will have the lights on that corner blinking for you to let you know that you have reached that PSI. So we're gonna leave ours at 33 because that's where I like mine. And dark mode. Dark mode is actually pretty cool. Let me show you guys dark mode. So dark mode basically turns off all the lights. Shifter lights, dash lights, pretty much everything in the vehicle. And once you want to turn everything back on, you just kind of press the buttons to come back out of it. You have to remember where the buttons are. And there you go. So dark mode is kind of nice if you want to sit in a parking lot with the engine running and you don't want the vehicle to be visible for whatever reason. Video is once again video. You get to see rear camera, camera off, camera on. You get to see boost and vacuum. If you have your diesel, then you'll have a boost gauge. If you don't have a diesel, you'll have boost and you'll just have vacuum. You have a 0 to 30 and a 0 to 60 timer, so you can actually do launches and time yourself for whatever reason. If you want to do that in the Jeep, you can. Light show, once again, you can just go through all the different light shows. So you've got light show 1, light show 2, light show 3, and we'll go outside and I'll show you guys one of the light shows in a second. You guys can play with the light shows yourself, but basically it just strobes and flashes all the different lights. So once you actually go through, there's live settings, and this is the one that you want to really play with. So here you have brake hold. Brake hold will hold all 4 brakes. When you hold your foot all the way down to the floor on the brake and hold it for a second, it'll activate and you'll have a message on the screen, and you'll have all 4 brakes held even when you let go of the pedal. This is good for when you want to do something like winch somebody and you don't want to leave it in actually like on your parking gear. You can also do that by stomping on the brake in park and pulling back on your what's it called, your high beams. So that will also put it into that mode. And if you do that, it actually looks something like this. So you can see brake hold on, and now we are being held. And to release that, you just press the throttle and it gets you out of that mode. As you can see, it just cancels right out, even though we're still in park. So brake hold. We've also got home link. In motion. In motion just means that you can enter in navigation screen commands such as the what's it called, the keyboard and things like that while it's actually running and while you're driving. Turn cam, so that's when you put your turn signal on, it'll automatically turn on your rear view camera. Kill 3 honk, so that means when you leave the vehicle with the key in your pocket and the vehicle is running, it will not honk 3 times anymore. You can also have a hood alarm, so when your vehicle is off and somebody opens up your hood, the alarm of the vehicle goes off, which should have been something from the factory, but they've included it here, which is great. And pin, so you can obviously clear your pin or set your pin from there. And this is automatic park kill, so that means that it automatically puts it into park with the doors open. You can kill that, so that doesn't happen anymore. Auto passenger heat, so when you press the pre-start button and you actually start your vehicle from the key fob, it'll activate the heat on both the passenger side and on the driver's side. Parking brake, or no, sorry, pulse brake, so that'll pulse your 3rd brake light and you can set the amount of pulses right there. Winch, so that sets the RPM you want your winch at. And tire fill, you can set your tires again. So basically you've got tons of options, tons of different things you can do. You can remap these buttons to do everything from that I just showed you, to also you can do your traction kill, you can do your sway bar kill, you can set your lockers on your buttons here, so you can have your lockers on the front button, you can have your rear locker on the rear button, so you don't have to go down there, you can literally just press one button. And how I have it set up is I have a light show, so you can see my lights start to strobe. Oh, actually, it doesn't work when your cruise is on because it thinks you're doing cruise, but I have a light show set up there, so you can see in the rear view there, the lights are strobing, and you can see out the front, sort of. Let's go outside and I'll kind of give you guys a better view, but it is strobing all the lights, and you can have different light shows set up all the way up to custom light shows. So it's pretty cool. You can do pretty much anything you want, and I think it gives you a lot of really cool features. One touch button to kill the light show. And I just had to enter the pin there for a second because I left the vehicle with the fob, so pin unlocked. And now that the pin is unlocked, now I can turn off my light show because it actually locks you out of all the settings, because it doesn't know if you're being carjacked or what happened or if you fell out of the vehicle on the trail. But yeah, and that is pretty cool. There we go, we got the light back on because now we don't need to see the screen but there is a lot of cool different functions you can do from the actual steering wheel. And a lot of them, so let me try to set the tripod up here. So a lot of them, the way that they work is you have to hold left, and then you can go through your options by pressing cancel. And you can scroll through like that, and then you press on the center button here to actually accept or go through the parameters. And then you can go up and down. But there is some other shortcuts. So if you hold in and then you hold this one, you will get your cool down mode. So you can actually force the fans on. If you're on the trail and the engine's getting hot, you can force your fans on. And if you have a manual, they will stay on even when you turn the vehicle off. On the right, you will have winch mode. And on the top, you will have, what's that one? It is line lock. So it'll actually lock up your front brakes and let you do a burnout. And then on the bottom one, you have rock crawl mode. So it'll actually lock up all 4 brakes with you just holding this button, and then you can actually play with the pedals and get your torque ready. And as soon as you're ready to actually start moving, if you're on an obstacle, let go of that button, and then it'll kind of be like a transmission brake. It just lets off the brakes and you can start moving. There's not going to be any rollback or any dead spots or any kind of hesitation. So that's really cool, and all of that stuff works really great. You can see line lock. So there you have line lock, and you press the brake twice, and as long as you're holding that button, line lock is active. You can see I'm not touching the brake, and it holds the brakes for you. Obviously we're in park, but yeah. So I'm sure I missed a bunch of features, but those were the most important ones to me. And I know it got a little bit boring just explaining all the features and going through everything, but trust me, this thing is amazing and it helps you out a ton, especially for security. So I use a steering wheel lock, something like this. And basically where I live, Jeeps and especially Wranglers and Gladiators are one of the most stolen vehicles where I live. So something like this and an immobilizer is perfect. So I'm super happy to be able to add that in. And just to show you guys, there is a bunch of other features. So one other feature is you do not have to anymore press your auto start stop off. It'll always remember what position that's in. You can always kill your traction control. You can always set your sway bar. You can always set your lockers at any point. You also can do a light show from the actual key fob. So if you go unlock, unlock, lock, unlock, it'll start doing a light show for you. So you can see it kind of flashes the lights and does a couple little things there for you. Kind of cool, something different in case you're parked somewhere and you just want to be seen, or you don't know where your vehicle is, or whatever. The light show, I think, is actually a cool feature for if you're going off-road and you're pulling somebody out of something, or if it's dark and you just want to be seen and you're moving slow on the road. I think that that's a great little addition. So if you want to turn the light show back off, just lock the vehicle. And if you click it unlock 3 times, it'll turn on your bed lights and they'll stay on. If you click it 5 times, it'll turn on your bed lights as well as your reverse lights. So if you're loading anything, you don't have to go into the cab. Those lights will stay on. And there is a couple of other features. So as you can see, it is locked now. So let's test out that hood alarm. So I'm gonna have the button in my hand so I can turn it off quick. But you can see, if I lift it, because it goes off of those 2 pins right under there. So I can show you guys quickly. It goes off of those 2 pins right there. So as soon as those pins get moved, alarm goes off, which is really nice because that's something that I think they should have included from the factory. And at least we have it now. So we're that much more capable. I know I need a lift, I know I need tires, guys, but slowly, surely, she's getting built and she will get that much better every single time. So guys, I hope this video wasn't too boring. I hope that you guys actually got something out of it and you enjoyed this video. And honestly, that is one of the best and most useful things that you can get for your vehicle, because it is the best way to unlock the full potential. You can always use your lockers, you can always unlock your sway bar. You've got better protection for your actual vehicle for just when you're not there. just tons of different things, drivability wise, security wise. It just makes you feel that much more in control of your own vehicle. And for a Jeep, I know guys love to actually do things and mod things and be able to do things and control things. So this is the best mod that I think any Wrangler owner or Gladiator owner can get. And shout out to my girlfriend Justine for getting me this for my birthday. I did get a couple other awesome things for my birthday as well from the guys. So Mike from Off-Roading, the guy who has the CRV, as well as Lucas, the guy who has the TJ. If you guys have been watching my off-road videos, they got me something really cool. Let me show you guys. So huge shout out to the boys. They both grabbed me something that I've been wanting for a really, really long time. And that is something that you guys can probably agree we've needed for a really long time. A kinetic rope. And this one is awesome. So not only is it a great color because it's going to be super visible, but it's going to match the accent colors on the TJ, which, by the way, if you guys are interested, she has her new engine in, and I will be picking it up very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. But this is a 30-foot, 1-inch thick, that's right, 1-inch thick, this is a big boy, kinetic rope. So this one is going to be tons and tons useful on the trail. This thing has a working load of 11.5 and a braking strength of almost 35. So this is definitely going to be a beast, and we're definitely going to put this thing to work. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But big shout out to the boys for helping me out with that. Big shout out to my girlfriend for getting me the actual taser. And big shout out to my brother for getting me the dash cam that we'll probably be installing in the next video or in an upcoming video sometime soon. And so yeah, I'm not showing you guys this stuff to show off and be like, look at all the cool crap I got. No, honestly, I'm super grateful and super thankful that people were that much like thinking of me, that they thought of me that much to actually grab me things like that are going to be that useful, because things like that I'm going to use every single day, and I'm going to think about those people every single time. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys a million times for getting me those, because as you guys know, they're definitely going to get used. And hopefully you guys will be here to watch me use them, because we will be taking the Gladiator off-road, and you know we're going to be taking the TJ off-road back when we get it in a few days. So hopefully we'll be taking that in, I think, well, this weekend we were supposed to go to Ardbeg. We were going to go camping. But now it's calling for thunderstorms all week. Today is Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, or the day you're watching this is Wednesday. So we're gonna decide by Thursday if we're gonna head up to Ardbeg. If we're gonna head up to Ardbeg, we're gonna go from Friday to Sunday, and we're just gonna kill it, and we're gonna go off-roading the whole weekend. We're gonna take the Gladiator. If we don't go because it's gonna be thunderstorms, then I'm tempted to just jump in the TJ and take the TJ if she's ready to go. So stay tuned for that. But I will be posting the video on actually picking up the TJ and getting the engine into the TJ before we go off-road. So I will try to post at the end of that video what the plan is going to be. So stay tuned for that, because that video is coming very, very soon. Because I think I should be picking up the Jeep on Thursday, if everything goes well. Because today they told me that my clutch is good, the new engine went in, and the guy, I think he tried to start it. So fingers crossed that we're going to get it back in a few days. So yes, Big Bird lives on. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for being here. If you're new around here, please jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, ride safe out there. Peace.